Hey everyone, welcome to Season 1 of Something Genuine. I am Twwk, your host and director of Beneath the Tangles. On this program, we are bringing together people involved in anime, so voice actors, cosplayers, producers, VTubers, writers, anyone that touches upon anime to talk about, well, not anime. A little bit. We will talk about anime, but actually, the point of this video cast is to really get personal, chat with people about life and all its complexities and all its challenges, with the end goal of really trying to achieve that's something genuine. We want to encourage you to see the people around you, whether they're famous people like those we're talking about or talking to, or just people in your sphere, as human, more than what we may see on the outside. So I'm super excited, especially today, because the guest we're bringing on, and you guys don't even understand, this is someone that, for me, has been the voice of anime for the past 10 or 15 years. And more than that, I've really admired how we've seen her grow from someone who is a super fan to really developing her craft and working tirelessly to break through, rise to the top, and then stay there and continue to just get better and better. So you will know her as the voice of Homura from Madoka Magica, as Sailor Mars in the new Sailor Moon dub, as Darkness in KonoSuba, Sakura in the Fate series, and then maybe most notably, especially for a wider audience, Ladybug in Miraculous. Say hello to Cristina Vee. Hey, Cristina. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm really good. It's a beautiful someday morning. I don't even know what day it is. Someday morning.
Yeah. Well,
we're just chilling.
Yeah, who have you got there with you?
This is Zephyr.
Oh my
Zephyr
goodness.
is my son.
Mm-hmm.
He has the best eyes.
Oh my goodness.
And no thoughts.
No thoughts?
No thoughts. His only function is cuddle and eat. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. He has to be in my arms at all times.
Like, nice. I love the denim look on him.
Oh yeah,
so
he got
cute.
this is from Harajuku in Tokyo. He's very fashionable. He also hasn't taken it off in 3 days.
Oh my goodness.
Dirty boy.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about something else, but speaking of your Japan trip from a while back, how did it go? What were you out there for?
So I recorded a show called Panty and Stocking, and
yes,
the director was like, I have a great idea. Instead of a cast party, why don't we go to Tokyo? And there were a ton of like pop-ups for Panty and Stocking. So we hit up like the pop-up shop, and then we went to the pop-up cafe, which was so good. And then they all went to Studio Trigger to meet the directors. And I unfortunately had to get back home, but I heard it was amazing. And I got an autograph from the director on a print of Stocking, which is really cool. So yeah, we were just doing that. And I had work out there. Just so happened one of my Japanese clients needed me to work that week, and I was like, I'm in town, let's do it. So yeah, so that was that. It was a whirlwind 5 days.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's barely enough time to even get acclimated.
No, I never acclimated. I was always tired. But when I got back home, I was like, it's normal again. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, that's good at least. Oh, that's so much fun. Yeah, I think when I think about you, I really throw back to kind of the older days of when you were doing YouTube stuff and fan stuff. And I bring this up because you're like, oh, Studio Trigger, like you're a fan, and nowadays that's kind of, I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this, but nowadays that's pretty common for voice actors starting out as fans, wanting to get into the industry. But I felt like you were kind of a pioneer in that way when you were doing it. That was pretty new back then, right? A fan like really doing all the stuff you need to do to get in front of people and then show your skill.
Yes. And I was just having a conversation with somebody else about this who was asking about that same thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be very honest with you. It was difficult. It was really hard because I didn't have community. And not only that, some of the established actors at that time were very against it. Like, don't let Cristina in. Don't let this fan in. And that was, that was how it was. And I had to really I felt like for a long time, I was really like trying to show myself like, no, I'm a professional. I'm really good at this. I am good at this and I belong here. But yeah, there was nobody really I was a teenager at that time. I was a teenager. I
Mm.
loved this stuff. Nobody else could really. A couple people were like, yeah, I also loved this before I got in, but mostly it was people who were doing other kinds of acting who kind of fell into VO and who kind of pioneered that field.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying like everybody was like this, like it was just a couple people, but
Yeah.
it was hard as somebody that young looking for acceptance. And it wasn't until like my 20s, like maybe even like early mid 20s, where more of us started
Mhm.
working, and now we have this great community. And now I feel like most of the people, like you said, are fans. And I think that makes the work even better. Like we're
Mm.
all learning from each other and building on top. And I think it really does help when you love, especially this very specific medium, you know?
Mhm.
Um, I think that's what helped me when I was first starting out is I knew the tropes, I knew the anime sounds, and I just understood the animation and what they're trying to portray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really interesting to me. We're talking about gatekeeping now in like 2024, 2025, 2026, as this like serious thing that's out there. But it's interesting to me that you're already facing that like really early in your career a little bit. I mean, how do you react now when there are young people, because you're the vet, right? I mean, or
Mhm.
how do you react now when there's young people who are trying to be in that similar kind of situation you were, and they may come to you for advice?
Yeah. I made a vow. I'm like, I'll never be
I'm not
that
going to be
person. I
that.
will never be that person. And I do get the chance as a director to work with a lot of young actors who are just starting out and who I see have that light. And it's such a beautiful light when you're just starting something and you're so passionate about it. And I want to nurture that. And I don't want, I would never make anybody feel like, you can't belong here. Like that's not my vibe. But very specifically, I have made an oath that I would never make somebody feel that way. Like I want the opposite. I want everybody to know like you're welcome and there's a huge community and you're making the scene better by being here.
That's awesome. You talked about how it was a struggle back then, and I pulled this up from Wikipedia, which is always right, right? So, but I wanted to
Yeah, right.
confirm this with you, right?
Sure.
So
Curious.
right. So it mentioned that when you were in college, you were dealing with like depression and panic
Mhm.
attacks and all that. I mean, is that true?
Yes. How do you want to get on this podcast? Because I can tell you things that I've never told people.
Oh, let's get deep because
Let's get deep.
what
Okay.
yeah, what I'm hoping to do really is that I hope people will watch this and in this divisive world we're in, I want people to see everyone as like humans, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, like even Cristina Vee was really dealing with stuff back then and is
Yes.
just a person now too dealing with stuff.
Yeah. So in college, and I don't know what caused it, but I've always been pretty anxious, even as a little kid.
Mm.
In fact, my first depression was when I was 7 years old. Yeah, it was really hard when I was a kid. And then, it only happened during summer, like when I was not in school, not with my friends. And people were just like, "Oh, just deal with it. This is just how." So this depression would come, but it would never be as bad as that was. But when I was 17, 18, in college, it really hit me hard. And I wish I could put a finger on like what it was. But I started having like rolling panic attacks, and I had to stop going to school for a bit because it would be like when I woke up, I'd be like, okay, it's another day. And then whatever that fear, it was all fear. Like that fear would kick in and I would just have panic attacks throughout the morning. And eventually I was like, I can't go to school anymore for a second. Like I need to get this under control. But it did get to the point, and I was already like doing voice acting here and there, but I hadn't had like my first big role yet. I was doing like background parts, bit characters. Oh, it's gonna make me emotional. It was such a hard time. But it got to the point where I didn't think I could go on. And I reached out to doctors like, what's like, help me. What's going on? Why can't I function in public? And so I was determined. I'm like, I'm going to find a doctor, like help me or, you know, and it just so happened that while I was going through that dark place, I got a call from Bang Zoom Entertainment, and they offered me 2 lead roles in anime. And at first, I turned it down because I couldn't function. And I said, I'm so sorry. And, they were really sweet. They're like, hey, whatever's going on, like, we understand. Like, we've also been through really hard times too. But then I met finally the doctor who was like, hey, girl, there's nothing wrong with you, but you have OCD. And he described everything I was going through. And I was like, oh my God, like you're describing like that. Those are my thoughts. And he's like, this is OCD and you're going to be fine, but let's get you on Prozac or whatever. And you're going to see like, it's going to get better. So I called back the studio. I told them if it's still available, I would love to be part. And they said, okay. So, and nobody knows this, but you guys know now, because I feel like it's important to know. When I was doing those shows, I was still having panic attacks, so I couldn't drive. So my dad would drive me to Burbank, which is about 30 miles from me. And I was living in Long Beach at the time. But as soon as I got to the studio, like I don't think they know. They do not know. Maybe I was a little quiet, but I don't think they know at all because I'd be like, this is my dream. This is what I've been working for my entire life since I was watching The Lion King and memorizing it and saying it back. And sure enough, I can't even tell you when the panic attack stopped because one day you just wake up and realize, oh, I haven't had a panic attack in a long time. And I do credit that to voiceover. That really, really helped me. And, growing up, there was still like questions to ask, like, why do I have depression in my life? And I have gotten the answers since then. That's the beauty of getting older and growing up and learning. And it doesn't, he just ruled on me. It doesn't affect me as bad anymore, but I still am pretty anxious at times. But yeah, voiceover anime, it means so much in my life. It's really helped me through hard times. And it's just consistently been there for me since I was that young.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I mean, I love that. What you were working towards achieving and what was kind of inside of you that you'd wanted to do was also a key for helping you, overcome something that was so difficult.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you're still anxious at times. I think a lot of us share that. I know I share that,
Yeah.
How do you kind of handle that now when you realize that like the anxiety's coming or how do you do it when it's already hit? I mean, what do you do in your life?
It's very practical things these days. I'm not on any kind of medication anymore. I stopped years ago when everything was like stable for a really long time. And I weaned myself off. And it was just like, like Lexapro, Wellbutrin, that kind of stuff. But I noticed that for me, and I'm not saying like this is not a one size fits all medical advice. That's not what I'm doing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But for me, I always felt like I was in another room watching my life. And I was like, I think it's this medication. So I weaned off slowly. But I go to weekly therapy and it's great. And I do a lot of meditation. But also my number one thing I feel is working out consistently. I go to the gym at least 3 times a week to lift heavy weights. And that's like, I think that might be the key for me personally to staying like good.
Yeah.
And I recommend that for everybody, no matter if you're like feeling depressed or not. Like I just feel like it's the best thing we can do, especially as we get older, is build muscle.
Yeah, my wife's always telling me that. I'm like, I'll get to it. But no, but like we all know that. Like when we're doing exercise, when we're pumping weights or cardiovascular too, we just feel so much better, right? It's I don't know the science behind it, but certainly it helps with the mental health as well as the physical health.
Yeah, for sure. Like I feel everything got better when I started seriously like hitting the gym.
I love that. There's so much wisdom you've already dropped for us.
Thanks.
Which yeah, you're wise.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't talk to people often about my personal life, and I think what I've learned in the past couple of years is it's really helpful not only for me but for other people. Like I think like community and understanding people on a deeper level is really important. So I'm glad we're doing this.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I think some of that just comes with age, right? Like as you learn things like, oh, it's not just me, or
Yeah.
oh gosh, I really do need community, or oh, that medication was helpful at the time and now maybe I would need to do something else, or all these
Mhm.
little pieces, right? They don't you don't know when you're in your 20s, your early 20s or your teen
Yeah.
years. And especially back then because we didn't have the as much internet stuff out there.
No internet
You
stuff, really.
yeah, you had to have a professional tell you, oh, this is OCD, as opposed to now we're like, oh, I think this is OCD. Let me go ask my healthcare professional about this, and they know more
Yeah.
too, right? But the ability to be older and to share everything, I think that's really helpful. You mentioned community too, and maybe the lack of community back
Yeah.
then. How's that journey been for you in developing community?
I feel I'm very lucky in that sense where I have been able to bring in people to my life who have been endlessly supportive. And I'm not saying I get along with everybody because, there I definitely have my differences with some people,
Sure.
but but that's okay too. Like you don't like that's another life lesson.
Yeah.
You don't have to like everybody and nobody has to like you. I mean,
So
not
hopefully some
everybody
people
has
like
to
you.
like you. Some people,
Not
not
everyone
everybody,
has to like
not
you. There
everybody.
we go.
But also, it's not personal. It's what's going on in their inside. Same thing if like you and I were clashing, it's not your fault. It's because you're mirroring something to me
Mhm.
about myself that I am not yet cool yet with or aware of.
I feel like
So
I'm in a therapy session.
I've had so much. I'm an expert in therapy.
Yeah, I can
Um,
see it.
I'm therapized. There's a little bit going on with me right now in that sense because during COVID, I moved to a beautiful house in a wonderful neighborhood. But once the traffic started again, it's too far. It's too far. It's like an hour and a half to get here. So we rarely have visitors. So it's just me and my guy and our cats. And we're like, someone come visit us, please. But we still have our community. They're just over there. But yeah, throughout the years, I made a lot of great friends in voiceover. Um, but also, I don't know. It's just been kind of a slow building of people. And the most important thing I've learned though is if you want a village, you have to be a villager.
Oh
So
gosh.
show up. Yeah, right? Show up to their performance they invited you
Mm.
to. You need to show up to the birthday party even if it's on the other side of town and I think that's the best way to build community is I it's harder for me these days because I travel a lot,
Yeah.
but I was always there like it's your show, I'm going to come support, you know?
Yeah. It's funny how as we get older, we have to kind of be taught again that friendship is important. It's like when you're a kid, it's make friends, make friends. Oh, let's go to friends' birthday parties. And then
Yeah.
especially some of us are driven, maybe even kind of like really very focused on self and so forth. And before we know it, maybe we don't have community anymore. We're like, oh my gosh, I need
Yeah.
that. And it takes that kind of sacrifice and building to pour into people.
Yeah.
And also, I guess one thing I've learned too is when you're when you're developing community and you're pouring into people, it's easy to maybe get frustrated with people like, oh, I did this for you. Why aren't you showing up for me? But if you're in the mindset of I just want to take care of people, love people,
Yeah.
you might avoid some of that, and then you'll find people coming to
Yeah.
you too, right, and supporting you as well.
Yeah. But I will say, if they're never there for you, you don't have
Yeah,
to be there for them.
that's
You'll
true.
find your people,
That's
whoever's
true.
watching. You'll find them.
Absolutely.
And you don't need a
That
lot.
just the people that'll be there for you and support you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I want to turn the conversation a little bit,
Yeah.
and I do want to talk about anime and animation a little bit.
Sure.
Um, you mentioned The Lion King, which is interesting because I'm not in the industry, but
Yeah.
that was such a big moment for me when that movie came out because I was too cool at the time to watch
Oh, really?
animation. Yeah, I was. So I'm a little bit older than you. I'm 40 some 44. So I was in middle school when The Lion King came out and I was like, "Ah, I'm not doing Disney anymore. Come
Yeah,
on."
yeah.
And then my friend gave me the VHS. Oh, I'm so old to borrow.
VH
And
those
I was,
boxy things, as the
yeah, what
kids
are
say.
those? Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. This is like the best thing I've ever seen in my life, right? What are some of the kind of animation like milestones or whatever for you when you were growing up that
Oh.
made you feel like, oh, I want to be into this, you know?
Okay, so Lion King was the start, I believe, but I loved all the Disney movies at that time. But for me, it was Sailor Moon because I loved
Right.
that. Right? I loved that so much. On my way to elementary school, I would wake up at 7 a.m. to catch an episode and then run and catch the bell. But that one stayed with me, and that's how I discovered voice acting because I was watching a clip. Okay, here's what happened. I was always watching in English, and then uh, I found like online like clips of Sailor Moon and it was in Japanese. And I was like, wait, the lip flaps are the same, but she's speaking a different language. There's a person voicing it. Like, and that was like my big aha moment. I was like, oh, that's a job. I want that job. Yeah,
What a
that was
time.
my
That was,
favorite.
oh my gosh, just reminiscing about that time when it was like when we had a Toonami back then, and we had Sailor Moon out there, Dragon Ball Z. I mean, they're still out there. You're Sailor
My
Mars
my
now, right?
first, yeah, I am. My first Yahoo search ever was Sailor Moon. And a
Oh.
total of 7 search results came up on Yahoo. Isn't that nuts?
Well, it felt special, like we had something here. I had a phone conversation with a friend, and she's like, "Have you heard of this thing called Sailor Moon?" I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
You know, it was we're sharing something special, you know,
It was
back
so
then.
different, so
And
different from anything else.
it's still, I mean, obviously it's really cool now that it's going mainstream and people are getting, there's more attention on it. There's like 40 or 50 new anime shows each season, which is insane to me. So there's that balance too, right? It's really cool to be
There's
able
a
to share it nowadays.
Yeah. It's so and especially in the past 5 years, it's become so mainstream. It's really incredible to see.
Yeah, have you been able to go to any like premieres? I'm sure you've gone to some premieres of anime in the past few years. Anything?
Oh, man, I haven't been to a premiere in a while. I usually will do my stuff if it's in theaters, but I haven't been to something in a bit. The last
Oh,
premiere I went to was 2023.
okay.
That was Ladybug, though. It wasn't anime.
Oh, speaking of Ladybug, it's been, am I right? It's been 10 years of
It's been,
Ladybug.
yeah, 10 years of it showing, probably like 12 years since I auditioned for it
Oh gosh.
the first time and started working on it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it's it's been, so that's like the majority of your adult life now that you've been
Yeah.
voicing this show. Like
It's crazy.
what does it mean to you to be in this like fantastic show that connects with so many people for so long?
You know, it's really surreal for a lot of reasons. One, the sheer amount of time we've been doing it without any well, there've been a few recasts, but not to like the core group of cast members. Like we've been doing this with the same director um, for so long. Um, and watching the fan base kind of grow. And I was there with it because I was Googling it and looking at everything every step of the way. Um, and it's just become this huge global thing. It's a multi-billion-dollar franchise now. And it's just nuts to be from the start of that. And then we did the movie and they could have done what they do with so many movie adaptations of popular shows and cast a celebrity, but they're like, no, nope, Christina, we want our cast to be in this. I'm like, thank you guys. Like it's just such a great project, and I'm so grateful to them for taking care of us too. As because I feel like we've all like all together we've helped the show grow, and me and Bryce, all the cast members, we absolutely love the show. So when we're at conventions, I feel like we're hyping it up and it's not just, because we're at a convention, it's because we love it.
I love that.
Thanks.
The um so so you've got that continue to go on. You mentioned I'm going on a little bit of a detour here, but to me, you're in that space a little bit. You're where you mentioned celebrity casting,
Yeah.
but you've become a really big name. Like it is insane.
Thank
Like
you.
I Taco Bell
Yeah, I
commercials.
know. During the Olympics, I was
I was like,
psyched.
I remember, so I wasn't expecting it. I hadn't read about it. So when I
Yeah.
saw it live, I was like, Oh my gosh, we got anime right here, and I looked up everyone's names. I was like, oh, of course, it's Cristina
So
Vee.
cool. That
Oh
was really
my
cool.
goodness.
I still feel like people don't see us in the same way as on-camera actors. And I'll be very vague, but I was the lead in a show that's coming out, like a huge IP. And we were working on it for a year, and then I got a call saying, "We're sorry, they're firing everybody they want on-camera talent." And I'm like, "But but I promise I'll bring the same audience."
Yeah.
um, but that was kind of a wake-up call for me to do on camera as well. So that's been my new journey, is
Okay.
venturing into this world. But it's only because
Mm.
I don't want to lose a job because I don't have a role on CSI. You know what I mean? Like I don't want that to stop me in the future. So I've been working on that as well.
I
It's
hope you're
crazy.
enjoying it. Are you enjoying it?
It's fun, and
Yeah.
I'm very lucky because I have the best on-camera coach in the world. I feel my partner is Carlos Prats, who is an amazing, like, and I'm not just glazing him because he's my guy, but he's an amazing on-camera actor, and like he's won awards. He starred in a movie alongside Kevin Costner. He's shooting a movie right now in Tulsa, and he's just so good. Like like he's amazing. Anyways, that's enough of that.
Nope.
But he helps me, and he's helped me get. I haven't booked anything huge yet, but I have been like sent to the directors to review and producers. So I've gotten pretty close. I'm going to keep working on it.
Okay. Well, I mean, you do so many different things, right?
Yeah.
You got voice acting, directing, singing, theater, and why is it that on-camera acting until now hasn't really been part of the mix?
You know, that's a good question. I I have always been voiceover. Like that's all I wanted to do, you know. And but I think it might go back to being I was always like the skinny, like awkward kid who wasn't like not conventionally attractive, I guess, because that was always the feedback I was getting. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should just stick to VO. And then of course, as I've grown up, I don't feel like that's the
Right.
case. I'm not trying to like
Well, no,
make conceit, but
no. How do you feel like you got more comfortable in your skin?
oh,
Or
I
you
do.
feel
I
comfortable
feel
now?
I feel pretty comfortable. Pretty
Yeah,
comfortable.
I
I
get
have
that
my
sense.
moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
But I think it just comes from life lived. And it would be, I think, like my romantic partners in my life have shown me, like, you're not who you think you are. You're this, like, you are,
Uh,
so they've helped. And I know it sounds
sweet.
silly
Yeah,
that I couldn't find that for myself, but
yeah.
it's just been feedback from the world and from friends. And I think, but also like knowing myself more and knowing who I
Mhm,
am. I
mhm,
think it was the anxiety thing that kind of skewed my self perception of being somebody who was a little broken. So
mhm,
as I healed that, and you just kind of realize, like, oh, I was never broken. I was never
mhm,
broken. I think it's the mixture of being told from the outside world that I'm this and then healing my wound about feeling like I was somehow broken, that together, like I don't even know when it like stopped, but it has
mhm.
built my confidence.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's over time. Before you know it, you've kind of you've grown up a bit, right?
Growing up,
Like,
I think it's just growing up, and
yeah.
I feel like, I think our culture, there are great things about all parts of life, but I feel like a lot of people focus on like 20 to 25, but that's not you're not yourself yet. Like every year it gets a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's like such a blessing, like to have this road behind me now that I can see and that I've learned from, and I'm a much better person now than I was when I was still like figuring everything out, you
Mhm.
know?
No, I mean, I wish I could transfer my experiences and wisdom from right now to my metabolism in my
Oh,
early
sure.
20s. Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, but this is better. I mean, it really is. It's
It's better.
and so it is I think it's an encouraging sign to anyone who's watching because, if you're struggling right now, if you've got anxiety, well, so did Cristina V. It's
Yeah.
and it takes what it's one of those things where you have to experience something 100 times before you get it, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, the sun is coming up tomorrow. Oh, I am better at this than I thought. Oh, it's not the end of the world if I've done this or this or this, right? But
Yeah.
it takes more time for some people than others, and that's okay too. That's just part of your journey, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. We were talking about all these different things that you've been doing that you can do. Is there a part of your work, like whether it's directing or it's the music part that really brings you the most joy?
Ooh, man, the most joy. I think music, definitely.
I kind of thought that might be the
Lots of
answer.
joy. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that. I think it's more in my creative control, and that's like music is on my time. Like that's what I do to unwind basically. But also like I've done so many different kinds of voiceover, but there's something so special about anime. Um, and I maybe by the time this comes out, it will have been announced. But I booked like a lead role in something this in the past couple months, and I'm like that's what I'm most excited about. I cannot wait to record it and for it to come out.
I love that. I love that. I love that you're still excited about it, as that it's not old hat, that you're still working on it and still, love to do it.
Yeah,
That's awesome. It- I don't know. I don't know what you think, but there's this is kind of a Disney thing, maybe about like chasing your dreams, and there's this feeling of like, oh, your work should be full of joy, and that's what we hope for, right? We hope to do
yeah,
something that's incredible, but I think maybe if we take it down a notch a little bit, and have a more realistic understanding of it, maybe it's more like you can go into a field that you're designed to be in, that you're good at, and you
yeah,
can enjoy your work, but it's going to come with challenges. It's
for
going to be
sure.
tough, right? But you can still be in the place you're meant to be. We just don't necessarily expect it to be like, I don't know, the most
Yeah,
glamorous thing in the world.
yeah, for sure. I agree completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're on camera with a cat drooling on you, and that's okay.
I mean, this is the most glamorous life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're such a
Believe
drooly
me.
boy.
Oh,
You would
it's
just stand there and drool.
he's been a background this whole time with the purring, like the whole it's so like people can just turn off my voice and just listen to the purring and probably go to
Yeah.
sleep, calm down. It's so lovely. I love it.
He's the best.
Oh, going from joy, I do want to bring up something maybe a little difficult, and if you don't want to answer, that's fine. But
Yeah.
I did want to ask you about Twitter,
Oh
and
my God.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, dropping the bomb. Do you miss it at
No,
all?
I don't. I don't miss it at all. And there have been a couple of times where Twitter has made my life really difficult. And
Hmm.
I'm not gonna like go into specifics, but
That's fine. Yeah.
I I was there was a small group of people who were really unhappy with me for breaking up with their favorite. And they had in their mind that I would come out with this story. I'm trying not to get too specific, but so they were doxing me. And I knew this because somebody was like, "Hey," she it was like kind of like a "Hey girly" on Instagram. A couple people came to me like, "Just so you know, they are trying to get all your like they're digging into you. They find your address. They're trying to get your medical records. Trying to get any police reports that may have been like all these things." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So that was when I was first. I think that's when I pulled away publicly. Like I stopped sharing like personal things, which I don't think you should share personal things just casually on Twitter. I'll just say that. But that's when I started pulling back. Like, okay, I need to keep a distance. And then that other thing happened last year, which I still I
Yeah.
still get people calling me that, and I'm like, "That is, like, the furthest thing from the truth." Like, it is like, I cannot believe how wild that accusation is. And unfortunately, I still like people still call me that. And I'm like, and I've learned like you can't really deny it. Once it's out there, people want to prove that their opinion is right. So anything you say, it doesn't matter at that point. So I just had to kind of learn that, okay, some people are going to have a wrong opinion about me. That's fine. I don't need to see it. And I don't need to be a part of this conversation or be tempted to write back anymore. I'm going to delete my account. And my account still exists because I don't want anybody taking my name, but I've deleted like all my tweets. I don't check it. And I will tell you, it's like Obi-Wan when he was like, it's as if whatever million voices were suddenly silenced.
Right.
And I was like, wow, I'm not thinking about like this invisible peanut gallery anymore, like this imagined peanut gallery. Like I'm just living my life. It's pretty great. I do need my Instagram and I do need my TikTok because unfortunately to be part of this industry, you need a following. Some people insist that you have a following. So that's why those are still there. But I do not miss Twitter at all, or X or whatever it's called. It's fine. I think it's mostly bots now anyway.
You know, I can feel the anxiety in your eyes as we were talking about Twitter. So I'm sorry for bringing it up.
No, it's okay.
No, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Part of it. That's why I'm like, if we're like ranking actors, I'm like D-list Hollywood. I cannot imagine what those people on top, what they go through, because the little taste I've had, it's like, this is really strange. Not all of it. Like I do love that people watch the work. And I do love, and I really appreciate when people tell me they like it, but those other aspects, the dark side of it is really scary. Not the light side, the dark side is,
It's super hard because you might get 25 wonderful things said about you, and then you get something that's really negative or false, or dangerous or scary.
Yeah.
And it just pushes everything that was good away, you know? So that's wonderful that you made that move, despite it like maybe being a bad career choice, right? But it was best for you.
It was best for me. Yeah.
To step away. And, you know, I think we could all learn from that. I think if more of us stepped away from Twitter and social media, we'd probably be nicer.
Right? It might be nicer.
It's a tough place out there.
Really is,
But yeah, so I will let you go and have some of that time back and take care of Kitty. But maybe just before I let you go, what is the best way for fans to connect with you?
I think the number one way to connect with me is probably face-to-face at conventions. I do have to mention I am cutting back on those as well.
Yeah.
I did hit it really hard. We didn't even talk about that. I hit it really hard. But like my body's telling me, like, hey, you did it. Good job. Stop. You know? So definitely catch me in 2026 because 2077, I'm just putting it out there. Like I'm going to do a few, maybe 4 or 5 a year. Tops. And that's I'm never going to hit it this hard again. So come see me at conventions. But also I like reading your comments on Instagram. I feel like my Instagram is really positive. Like it's a super positive place. Yeah. Don't message me because I probably won't see it, to be honest, but definitely I'll read my comments. So thank you.
Yeah. So everyone out there, I agree. Like I've been, I don't do Instagram very much, but I started keeping up with you as this was coming up, and I was like, "This is so much fun! You put so much fun stuff out there. You're talking to your followers, and then you post things you've got going on in your life.
Yeah,
there's music, there's theater, there's all sorts. There's you at a parade waving at everybody."
The Grand Marshal at a parade. That was wild.
Oh, my goodness. So much fun stuff. So yeah, there's so much more to talk about, but you can find it all on Christina's Instagram. See her at the convention since there's not going to be a whole lot in the future, but so go check her out while you can. And just thank you for all that you've done for the anime fans. I just
Aw,
you've blessed us so much with your voicing of so many wonderful characters over the years,
thank you.
and like I said, I wanted to talk to you in part because of your honesty, but also just seeing you go through that journey and all the hard work you put in and how you've been able to develop your skill and show it with all that gumption, as I like to say, all that hard work, and you've been able to stay on top for all these years. All
Thank
these
you.
years. I'm sorry, I don't mean to age you, but
No,
like
it's okay. It's been
we're all getting
for,
old.
especially for, I think for an entertainment career, I've had a
Mhm.
great, an amazing, amazing time. Like you said, it's been most of my life. I'm very, very lucky.
It's incredible. Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
for joining us today. Thank
Thank
you everyone
you.
who watched us, and we'll see you later.
See you
Bye
later.
guys.
Bye.
I hope you all enjoyed the interview with Christina. She's awesome, isn't she? I was so glad that she was just so honest with us, and I kind of expected it because she's that kind of person, and you can see why she's really popular at conventions. If you've ever been to one, you'll see the lines literally going around the bend with people wanting to meet her, and I think the people who have interacted with her, none of them have anything but good stuff to say about her. But I appreciate her explaining the difficulties she's had, the anxiety she's gone through, stress, panic attacks, and all that. You know, she brought up how there are people trying to dox her and do all these kind of terrible things. And I feel bad that I even brought up Twitter because I could see the stress rising in her. At the end of the day, we're all people, right? Whether you are someone who's notable like Christina, or just someone like me who's just a random guy out there. We all have hearts. We all suffer when people are being terrible or rude. So the problem, of course, in this culture is that we kind of trained ourselves to judge, to evaluate based on just a few words, based on what we hear, based on hearsay sometimes. So I just encourage you all, and this is something that I'm preaching to myself too, is that when I'm interacting with someone, especially on social media, that I would understand that I don't know the whole person. I don't know the whole event. I don't even know what they meant when they tweeted something. I don't know what kind of day they're going through. I don't know if they're really even good at written communication. And all these things that I need to be cognizant of before I put some hate out there or some judgment out there that might hurt somebody. Maybe I'm better off just not saying anything at all, or maybe I can be part of the solution and in some cases be like, are you okay? Or that's interesting, thanks for sharing. Or I disagree with you, but I'd love to talk to you about it more. Or like I said, just to skip commenting. And I think we can be a stronger community online, and just better people if we just take a step back and think about them as people and not as whatever username they are online or as someone famous like Christina is. Anyway, do your best out there. Take care of yourselves, guys, and we'll see you next time. God bless.